Okay, so Saturday, January 28th, and I've removed all the tape from this thing, which there's going to have to be some work. I don't know was oversprayed. The tape was lifted there slightly. But I'm not going to get too upset. This is odd. The rudder, which Payson said it was not faired at all. It had no rounded front edge and no taper at the end. And so when I did that, I just followed, figuring, well, I'm building this scale model, so I'll just do it his way. But I wouldn't do that again. I'd fair it, because the thing is not really, there are other errors, and it's not a totally true scale model anyway. So, one thing that happened that's really rather strange is, look at this paint under here. I don't know, it's like bubbled in places. I might just quickly sand that and put some put. Yeah, you can see it right there. That's a pretty good view of it. It's funny, it's really only on that one side. The other side is fine. I don't know, I mean, the wood, this thing has been through a lot of climate extremes since I taped up the bottom. I've actually, at times, when the wood stove was going down, put it on that little upside down mount and put that on the wood stove on top of 2 bricks. So that heated up the hull quite a bit. So maybe there's something in the pine there that outgassed. I don't know, resin or whatever. So I guess it's back to painting a little bit on the bottom. As far as the top side goes, I'm just gonna sand that down with 600 and then maybe 1,000 and leave it matte finish. After that, it's time for these. Once those are in, the irons for the rigging will go on. And after the irons are on, then it's the rub rail. And at that point, it's basically rigging and 2 hatches and that little dog house, and there's another hatchway in the front and a few little details on the deck. And I'm thinking I might try and make they had a 1-cylinder gas engine, make or break gas engine that they used to for hauling stuff. So anyway, that's it for today. Onward to painting again. Okay, Monday, January 30. And this is what's going on with this thing. What a mess, huh? Paint bubbled up in these areas. I don't know why. This is something in the pine worked its way out under the paint. So now it's back to painting and sanding for a while. But while the paint's, I'm using a brush for this. So while that's drying, I guess I'm gonna start working on those hatches. This stuff takes like a good solid day to dry. I'll get back to you later today. Well, back again, and I did not get very far with these hatches. So I've left one out because that one will have to have the crown, the deck crown fitted to it. The reason I didn't get very far was that I spent a lot of time working on. I actually decided to do the lighting today, and I had a battery holder that would hold 4 1.5 batteries in series, and I thought that would be enough to run the LEDs, but it turns out no. I think, now that I think of it, a forward voltage or something like that on an LED or a diode might be 7 volts. I can't remember, but the tape says, the LED tape says 12 volts. So I have a 12 volt battery, a small sealed lead acid battery. I thought, well, maybe I'll use that. But then I thought, well, that's too much for the searchlight. So I went and I got a 9 volt battery, and that lights up the LEDs and should be a little less strain on the searchlight, which is an incandescent. So that will last longer. So that's where that's at, and I got one coat on this. Give it another coat tomorrow. Dries pretty well right by the stove. I have the stove going today. So that's where we're at. I'm sent away to Amazon Prime for a 9 volt battery holder with a switch. So that'll just go in the bottom of the pilot house and power the lights. So that's it for today.